Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairymuppet. Welcome back to another video. And yes, this video is titled 20 gigawatts of fusion power. And it's kind of going, but then again, it's kind of not. So let me explain what's going on and why I'm over in Aquilo instead of now Visa setting up my power plant. So basically this morning, I did a couple of things. I set up a little train network for lithium brine over to this little island, got that all the way over there. And that one's completely dead, which is fine, actually, which is fine. So the way it works is the train goes back and forward. It picks up fuel from here, which is the rocket fuel that goes in, and then it just stays here until its cargo inventory is emptied. And it wasn't actually emptying its inventory because I redid all of these to put prod modules in at beacons and accidentally I moved them up by one and accidentally forgot to put a heat pipe back here when I was finished. And so all these pipes froze and the entire build froze down, which means that this never got emptied, which means that this never got sent back. And I had the ingenious idea of actually pulling rocket fuel out of the train to keep it fueled up, which really was absolutely ingenious. However, it's the problem with that is that the lithium brine wasn't getting used up, which means the train was stalled, which means the train never came back, which means that the rocket fuel ran out, which means that this entire base fell over. So, and the problem now is even when the train comes back, this thing is going to be frozen. Now, in normal circumstances, I don't think it potentially might happen in the future. And I actually don't know how to deal with that, to be honest. Can we do something about this? Okay, what are we doing here? Read temperature. 29, okay. So what we're going to do here is we're only going to enable this inserter when the temperature is less than 200. And hopefully that'll do the job. Now it's probably started to drain because I set up this heat pipe, which means these things will start running again. They're quite slow, even with the speed modules because of all the prod modules. But then again, okay, let's just send you back. Let's just send you back over there so I can restart this bloody system. Yeah. What a pain in the ass. What a pain in the ass. Okay. Fuel. Give me all your fuel. And I'm going to chuck it all, well, some of it directly in there. Okay. Now, hopefully 200 is enough to keep all of these guys unfrozen. Hopefully it should be. Let's set it to 300, just to be on the safe side. But that will drastically reduce the amount of rocket fuel that's being used, and we've increased the storage as well, so that'll give us a little bit more of a buffer. I'm guessing, let's just send it back a few times manually just to sort of fill this chest up. Yeah, because having said that, I would expect this, maybe since I did the prod modules, it's now running slower, but we'll see how we go. So anyway, the hilarious thing about this is I actually set this up about 11 hours ago, 10 hours ago, and then I went to work and I had to go into the city today because it's my office day. So I set all this up and then I said, okay, I'm going to go to the city, I'm going to work for 10 hours, I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to see how many fusion reactors this system has automatically built. And the answer is 0 because I screwed up a single heat pipe. So there we go, 10 hours, nothing done, nothing produced. Where's this train? Get over there. I want you to go, and I want you to keep filling this guy up as much as possible. yeah, it's not the greatest. I didn't actually, it doesn't actually get to take that much out because the train doesn't sit there for that long, much longer. But, okay. Well, we'll see how we go with that. Hopefully it should be a bit more stable. I really don't know, to be honest, how stable that's going to be. It's a bit of an experimental sort of build. Even if we do something really funky, like having an extra carriage and the extra carriage is full of rocket fuel, it's not going to make that much difference because the problem is once this base freezes over, the inserter is now not going to work anymore. It's not going to take it out of the train carriage, and suddenly you're in deep doo-doo. So there's two possible ways to get around this. The first is to get a heat pipe all the way down and up, which we're not doing. The second is to tap, what's on this island? Nothing. Is to tap the nearby coal and produce a little bit of solid fuel off that, and then use that to keep these this heating tower going. Having said that, if we're using a continuous amount of lithium brine, then it's not going to be a problem. You can see this is down to 10k, down to it's using it at a decent amount. So hopefully we've gotten back to being at a point where it's going to be using up quite a bit of it. Oh, and my research of course got stuck because of course I was not producing any of this blue science, which kind of sucks. But anyway, despite the fact that we are still missing a whole bunch of science, and we weren't producing any fluoroketone either, fluoroketone, whatever it's called. So yeah, everything was just going down the toilet here. Probably weren't producing any of this, blah blah blah, whatever. So yeah, that kind of put a bit of a damper because everything stopped. I wasn't even like building up nuclear fuel or fluoroketone, not nuclear fuel. I wasn't even building up fusion cells or anything. I was building up nothing. That little heat pipe right there, just 10 hours completely down the drain. I mean, I had the big robot thing, the 128k. That still could have got done, but it got stalled by rocket part productivity, which was 115k. That would have got done. This probably would have got done. It's all very annoying. Anyway, we're gonna go back to Nauvis, and we'll actually land on the ship and then start transporting, and I will show you my nuclear power build, which because of that one single heat pipe is not producing anywhere near 20 gigawatt, but it is fully planned and it is fully automated. So yeah, so this is it. This is my this is my fusion power plant capable of producing gross 20 gigawatt. It's net 18 because of course we lose 10% in the fusion. So basically I got these little stations, one for fusion cells, fusion power cells, and the other one for fluoroketone, ketone, whatever it is. These ones come down from the ship. Eventually the fluoroketone will back up completely and only this one will continue to function. So these two trains go down here, and as you can see I've also moved the logistics network all the way down here so that we can automatically build these as things start coming down. So we got a nice little station here. This one basically unloads the fusion power cells. It requests 8,000. So yes, basically the same as the whatchamacallit, the calcite. So it doesn't put too much in here, just the bare minimum. And then I've also got a little buffer here with 5 in each chest, just to make sure that I never run zero. So even, because this one, a train will only come when these chests are completely zero. So I just got a little bit here. I probably could have put a bigger number up here, like 12k or something like that, but I think here, I don't know, whatever. And then we got just a fluoroketone hot, nothing special about this one. So yeah, and then we've got these stacks, and each stack is 1 gigawatt. So basically, we got a little pump here. It only pumps into the storage tank if there's less than 5k in the storage tank. Now this one has 500 or so. But the fluoroketone is 100% full. I feel like this should have just stacked up to 5k. I feel like it should have. I'm not sure why it's down so low. But anyway, we got 10 fusion reactors going on here, all with a single belt with half. The belt is only half filled because, of course, we don't want to just waste too many power cells. So we just make it a half belt here. And then we've got 2 cryogenic plants. They got speed modules and a speed beacon. So they are each doing 20 per second. As you remember, we require 4 per second per fusion reactor. So 2 of these, 20 per second each. That's a total of 40 per second, which serves our purposes beautifully. We send it down. Each fusion reactor has 2 fusion generators, and then they output into the pipes. So 20 total fusion reactors, 10 total fusion reactors, 20 of the total fusion generators, and that's a single stack. And that will produce 1 gigawatt gross and 0.900 megawatt net. And then I've just got 20 stacks, and they're all identical, and they're all built to be identical. I didn't originally have a pump here, but I had to add one because we ran into the pipes being too long, and so on and so forth. So far, I had enough to build 3 stacks, which is a total of 3 gigawatts. So you can see my total power, currently using almost 700 megawatts. I got 5 gigawatts coming in, 2 gigawatts from nuclear, 3 gigawatts from fusion, but over time, this will expand to the point where all of these get filled in, and then suddenly, boom, we're hitting the 20 gigawatts. And that will be it. And that will be enough to get us to Purple Science, 5K SPM, and that's going to be sweet. That's going to be absolutely sweet. So if we have a look back at Aquilo, we should be able to see we've got a whole bunch of lithium plate again. The lithium plate is actually backed up, which is very surprising. Why is it backed up? That should be getting... Oh, so this one's running full speed. This one's actually out of fluorine. That's probably not good. We've still got a decent amount of cold fluoroketone. The science is back up to full. I don't know if I remember I showed you, but that is fully prod moduled. And then these guys, I expanded this to 3. Each one does about 0.43 quantum processes per second. So that's a total of about 1.3 per second. Which is still, it's not great. If we do a calculator, 1.3 per second, 350 divided by 1.3, divided by 60, so that's about 4.5 minutes to do a reactor and 2 fusion generators. 4.5 minutes, 60 divided by 4.5, which means we do 13 per hour. So every hour that system runs, we're adding about a gigawatt of capability, which means this will probably take a good 15 hours, 13, 14 hours to fully create this. We could expand this, obviously. We could make more of these. Having said that, these guys are each consuming, this is consuming a total of, actually it's only consuming 1 lithium per second, which is not a lot. And we're producing quite a bit, so I probably could expand that. Maybe I should. But I just went all the way over to Aquila, so I'm not going to be bothered about it. We'll let that run. I mean, let's be honest. By the time we get Purple Science created, hopefully we'll be at the point where we can power it. We may not be, but we can run it at low power for a little bit while we wait for the fusion generators to get up and running. Yeah, well, we got fusion power cells coming back in, which is nice. We got the barrels coming back in, which is nice. So yeah, that's pretty much the update. That's all the update I wanted to do. Honestly, I just wanted to have a video that said 20 gigawatts of fusion power, because that's a very nice, well, I was going to say it's a very nice clickbaity sort of thing, but we actually are doing it. We have a blueprint that will do it when the blueprint gets filled in. If you want to blame somebody for the blueprint not being filled in, blame that bloody heat pipe. Because, yeah, somebody forgot to put that heat pipe in, and it's not me. But, yeah. I'm actually surprised that these guys... that this belt is not empty. I would have thought this belt would be empty by now. It is not empty. So these guys are using it incredibly slowly. We probably had the fusion power cell still going for a little while. Or backed up or something. But anyway. Aquilo Science. AQ Science. You know what? I'm going to swap these for a second because, yeah, Blue Science is down in the toilet at the moment. That'll take a little while for it to get back up. So let's switch over to something else. Yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. Everything you need to know about 20 gigawatt fusion power is right here. And look at that. We only need 200 of the fusion reactors and 400 of the fusion power cells, or the fusion power generators. And let me do some maths here. 400 times 50 is 20,000, and then 200 times 250 is 50,000. So that is, it's only 70,000 of these quantum processors. So it's only 140,000 lithium plates, only 70,000 processing units. It's not, it's a lot. It's quite a lot. Bloody oath. And that actually uses up fluoride. So yeah, building those is a major fluoroketone suck. No wonder our fluorine is falling off a cliff. Having said that, well, we haven't been launching many rockets, so this is backed up. The Angel of Density is also backed up, which is all absolutely beautiful. This guy, I suppose we just used a bunch of this stuff, so it has to pick up some more. Oh, we may need to go over and fix up some tungsten plate. Because, yeah, okay. Gleba seems pretty solid. Fulgora seems pretty solid. Yeah, I might go over to Volcanus, because tungsten, I don't think my setup for tungsten plate is all that good. Technically, it is banking off what's produced for the science, but it's not looking that good. And it is a critical component for making the fusion reactors, and I want the fusion reactors to be doing a good job. So, yeah. We're going to go over, and we're going to fix those guys up. But I'll probably just do that off camera, because there's not really much to talk about there. And, yeah, Purple Science, a full build is going to be next. And what I'm actually going to do is, there's a whole bunch of stuff over there which we've already built. We've already done a build for red circuits. We've already done build for plastic and green circuits and iron and gears and steel and so forth. So I'm not going to do those again. We're only going to do new things for on camera. So rails is going to be a big one. How to figure out how to do rails is going to be a big one. Electric furnaces, I'm going to be honest. What do electric furnaces need? Advanced circuit, stone, brick, and steel. So we might do the stone brick on camera. Yeah, I think we'll do the stone brick on camera. Steel plate and advanced circuit, we don't need to. Electric furnaces, we can do on camera, but that's not going to be anything spectacular. Productivity modules. What are they made from? That's just another electromagnetic plant build. So, really, the big pain, the interesting stuff is going to be the stone bricks, which is... The only reason stone bricks are interesting is because we can't use a foundry. We have to use an old electric furnace. But that's not anything really, really special. That's like an old school build, but it's still not something that we've really seen much before, so we'll still have to do some ratio stuff for it. Rails. Rails are going to be the big tamale. 5K SPM and rails is going to be the big thing. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but what I might do is I might do everything including electric furnaces and productivity modules at scale, and then we'll do the rails and the final build on camera, and then we'll just have one episode for productivity science. That seems like a pretty good deal. I can't promise because I don't know what I'm going to do until I do it, but that's my current plan. And then once we got productivity science going, then has this ticked down? I don't think it's ticked down at all. It feels like it's ticked down a bit. Well, I think it did tick down. I think it just built a few. Let's have a look. It has. It's built a few, and in classic Factorio fashion, it's built them all in random locations. Okay, so we're not going to have a smooth transition up slowly. It's just going to build them wherever the hell it wants. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All 10 of them got built in a row with no fusion reactors. Yeah, okay. Well, if we decide to switch on purple signs before we get to that point, it's going to be really slow. Really incredibly slow, but whatever. That is fine. That is absolutely fine. All right, so I'm going to go off and I'm going to do some background work now. And we actually have an update video that's... Well, I say it's not too long. Let's talk about quality modules again while I'm here, because I might as well do it because this video is so short. Let's talk about quality modules. I actually watched a video from Nilhouse last night, because, yeah, I don't know, I just love Factorio so much. What is going on here? What has happened? Why is your power so wrong? I have not... I guess I actually spun up the base. Oh, it's because I started shipping off massive amounts of resources, and my dinky little solar panel setup is no longer adequate for the incredibly large amount of resources. Speaking of which, how much landfill? We got 10k. So that's alright. But yeah, all these rockets that we keep launching with our random tungsten plate have definitely been doing stuff. Okay, what do we... Oh, let's have a look at this for a bit. So tungsten plate and tungsten carbide. So build about 300 per minute on average. So that's like 6 per second. 6 per second. We're building just over 1 quantum processor per second, and we're building 6 tungsten plate per second. And we're using barely any of this science, so that tungsten plate should be enough. Should definitely be enough. How is our thingamybobs going? You've got a decent amount, you're completely full, you're completely full. So this base is doing okay, except it needs a little bit more power love. Let's give it some power love while we're here. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. We're talking about to talk about quality modules. Speaking of, I probably need some cliff stuff as well here, but let's just fix up the solar. I think there are construction bots on this planet. And there are construction bots, okay. And we still have the supply rocket delivering solar supplies. That's part of our default package that we send down, so that will all be done automatically. Except for that. Except for that, and we never got around to building cliff explosives. Having said that, what do cliff explosives actually require? And why can I not see them in this menu? Cliff explosives. Okay. Maybe we should automate this. And we only really need them on this planet, is the interesting thing. Okay. Personal logistics, give me all my stuff, please. Okay, that worked fast. These robots are very... Well, I have been researching robot speed quite a bit. So it's up a very decent amount, so robot speed is up like a huge amount. So yeah, these robots are going nuts, which I'm very happy about. I still have no plans to use robots as part of any actual science build, but I mean, it's nice to have the option, like Gleba, maybe we might need it, or something like that. Okay, barrels. We've got explosives on the rocket already, so we don't need to make that. I think we need some grenades. And then, what was cliff explosives? Okay, and I still can't believe I haven't put logistics chests on my toolbar, but I just haven't. Move them up by 1, so they're in the power range. Done. It's missing grenades. This one's got those resources. This one's got those resources. Boom. 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 Okay. Job done. There's cliff explosives done. Tungsten plate. I'm really not gonna fix. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, what was it, though? What is going... It's just... I mean, we could build more. Let's be honest. We could... What is this using? Molten iron. Does seem like there's more than enough molten iron. You know what? Let's just put some cheeky speed modules down here. Oh, I got an achievement. That's the first cliff I've ever destroyed in this entire game. I'm requesting speed modules, but I'm not getting any. Are there none here? Maybe there are none here. Thankfully, our personal ship has some. And we can just drop down anytime we want. Which I absolutely love the fact that I got that done. Okay. Do I have them yet? No. So, let's talk about quality modules. Now, I've said before that I don't really care too much about quality modules. And I am 100% sticking to that story. Having said that, we may need to resort to them at some... Can I get 4 of these? No. Cannot get 4. But anyway, that's going to be a lot more tungsten. I put a speed module on this guy as well, so this guy should be rolling. The lava is pretty much infinite. Yeah. So quality modules, I'm probably not going to worry about them too much for the vast majority of things. There are some nice things, and potentially, I think I said this in the very first episode actually, potentially the only places we might want to use them are for the modules. For example, productivity 3, legendary plus 25%, that's huge. That's pretty huge. But it really only affects the amount of resources that we use. And if you really want to think about this, using productivity and putting it from 10% up to 25% is doing a similar job to the insane amount of mining productivity 25. Now, it's going to have a much bigger impact than mining productivity 25, especially if you start using legendary prod 3 modules everywhere. Having said that, my understanding from watching Nilhouse's video is that the best way to get a legendary item is to put all of its requirements at legendary level in there. So you don't really keep building prod 3s until you get a legendary. You keep building red circuits until you get legendaries, and then you throw the legendary red circuits into an assembler to make the prod 3 modules. Which is probably the smart way, because you end up not chucking away resources, because all of anything that's not legendary you generally want to chuck in the bin or something like that. So it's going to be insanely hard to make legendary of anything. Rare we could probably do, but then you're getting, the thing is 16% versus 10%. is it worth it? The only reason I would say it would be worth it is if resources are really problematic. Okay? If resources are if getting the sheer amount of resources you need is actually problematic. So, I think you know where I'm going with this, but let's talk about some other buildings as well. The electromagnetic plant. Now this just has extra crafting speed, so we don't really give a crap about this. The foundry just has extra crafting speed. So none of these guys, I mean, they don't get extra module slots. They don't get any base productivity added onto them. So yeah, it's just crafting speed, which is pretty much irrelevant. And this guy, research speed. So all of the buildings, I think we went through the buildings before, and it doesn't really matter. So in terms of quality, it would mainly be for the productivity that we'd be churning through the quality. And potentially, another thing that I might be seriously thinking about is not this one, because this is just crafting speed, but the asteroid collector for our final Prometheum science ship. To get more arms, because this one benefits a lot. Having said that, we can seriously mitigate the need for this guy being higher quality by getting higher levels of the asteroid productivity, and we can churn through that once we've got Gleber science up to 5k and space science up to 5k. So that will make a huge amount of difference. Having said that, I just want to double check, but I'm assuming 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you know what? There is no recipe for processing Prometheum asteroid chunks. So we got the so we got Prometheum asteroid chunks here, and the science, the final science, is made using the chunks directly. So we don't actually process the chunks down, which means that asteroid productivity then is useless. Is completely useless. Okay. So that makes these grabbers, these asteroid collectors, suddenly a lot more important. Because the thing that we've seen in the past is when a ship is heading out to Aquilo and you're blowing up the big asteroids, there are so many more chunks than can actually be collected. It probably collects like 20, 30, maybe 50% of the total chunks. So having these asteroid collectors up to as high as possible in the quality is probably going to be is not just a nice to have. I think that might actually end up being a serious requirement. Whether we aim for legendary, whether we aim for epic, I'm not sure. But it's probably not going to be required for 120 SPM, but if we go for 5k SPM, getting these to legendary or to epic or something like that is going to be a serious consideration. So that is definitely one thing. The other thing is what we just talked about, is the prod modules. And I think if we go through the different sciences, I think high quality prod modules and high quality speed modules, not so much the speed modules, but high quality prod modules are potentially going to be needed for the final 2 science packs. So this one, I mean, we've already seen lithium plate and fluoroketone is going to be a pain in the ass to make. Quantum processors use the same resources I just talked about. They're also going to be a pain to make. Biter eggs, the thing that worries me about the biter eggs is the spoilage, but in terms of actually building them at quantity, I'm not concerned. We've got biter bases all over the place. We just need to ship a buttload of bioflux around, but we can make a buttload of bioflux over on Gleber and then ship it all over. So making this at scale, making the biter eggs at scale, not a problem. Prometheum asteroid chunks, we just need the better grabbers, but quantum processor, this sort of stuff, I think that could benefit a lot from having serious prod modules, because Here's the thing. We got some of these processors, and even with prod modules on them, they're producing 2.82 per second, which is a tiny amount. So, and there's not that many of these things all over the place. And I do not want to have a base where I've got something over here and then something over there and then a dozen other ones, simply because we need the throughput, because each one is just producing so little. And then they run out and we're just screwed. Now, mining productivity research will help a lot, and it'll improve the speed by a fair amount, but whether or not that's going to get us to 5k SPM, I don't know. I have a feeling that those two bases, those two sciences, the productivity, maybe not the Prometheum one, specifically the Prometheum one because of the quantum processor. That is the one that I'm worried about, because that is the one that's dependent on the same crap as the blue science. So yeah, those two particular bits I'm very worried about on Aquila. I'm very worried about getting the resources at scale. And if we decide to take the dive and do those at 5k SPM, I am very worried that we're just not going to have enough resources. So in that situation, that is a point where I think we will have to take the plunge and just start producing very high quality prod modules to get us over the line. And I think those are the two things that we will need. You can get legendary mech armor, which gives you more equipment grid, it gives you more inventory size. Let's be honest, it's nice to have. It's very nice to have, but it's not a requirement, and meh. Maybe I'll get it one day, but meh. I mean, I'm not really that worried. I'm really not. Hopefully Volcanus is good right now. I improved a bunch of things. We're going to get back to Nauvis, and if we have a look over in Nauvis, we haven't built any more since the last time. Fusion Builder is over here. Waiting, well, it's only actually got one more fusion reactor. It's got 4 of them so far. So the production line is back on track in a big way. I'm very happy. And yeah, potentially I might want to improve this. How's our lithium plate doing? Is lithium plate actually backing up? Okay, it is actually backing up. Alright, you know what? Where am I? I'm going over to Aquila. I'm going to extend that line a little bit. But we're going to do that off camera. Yeah, but that's it. Basically, quality is again the arms which you talked about before, and prod modules for the Aquila base. I think those are the two main things. I think mining productivity being at insanely high levels will help a lot, but I think the prod modules will just be so necessary, because I just do not want to have to tap 10 different fluorine mines or 20 different lithium brine things when they're this spread out, when they're this painful to get to. I just don't want to do it. And especially these guys, because they actually run out. They actually run out. I think these guys, they're percentage based, so we can keep them going, but even still, like, we're already running out of fluorine here. I tapped all of these guys, and they're already going down the toilet. I mean, we're already running out of fluorine. I don't think... Do I actually have... I don't have a tank for fluorine. Oh, I do. No, that's the... Yeah. So it's already running out. This one's dead. This one's absolutely dead. With all 4 of those guys. Now that's only... Well, that's needed for the fluoroketone, which is... We're taking a ton of that back anyway. What a pain in the ass. Aquila is a sucky planet. It's a very sucky planet. And yeah, until we get all this fusion tech done, we're gonna really need to up the productivity on... Yeah, so I just fixed up lithium brine. Now I'm gonna have to bite the bullet, and I'm gonna have to do another train network down to here to get fluorine. Cause it's just gonna have to do it. You just got, otherwise this entire production chain is gonna go downhill. We're actually using 280 megawatts. That's decent. 167 megawatts. Well, we put prod modules in a whole bunch of different places. I'm probably going to want to put prod modules in these guys as well now. I don't think I could put prod modules in here. No, but this, I'm assuming, so I probably want to put prod modules in here. All we need to do is space these buildings out by 1, and then we can fit beacons in here. And then I got to remember to put the wire down the bottom, the heat pipe. But yeah, we'll do that as well. Get a little bit more juice out of this stuff. Okay, alright. Well, we finished off that video. It's been a very short 40-minute video, but it's only an update video, so you can't expect an hour-long video every time. But anyway, let's go over and have a look at the beauty that is 1 gigawatt. 1 gigawatt right there, and we can just tile it. If I want another 20 gigawatt, I just keep going. I just keep going, and we'll just keep building. And I'm going to make it so that this guy is... I don't actually have it here. Maybe I should have it there, but I've just got it here. So always requesting 10 and 20. And so if I ever want to just add another stack on, I can just add another stack and build it instantly. And there we go. Boom. Another gigawatt within like a few minutes. So it's awesome. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. That has been my update for today. 20 gigawatts of fusion power. It's only a matter of time before it gets built now, but I can take my hands off and it'll get built automatically from here on in. It'll get built very slowly because we need more fluorine, but it'll get built. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys later.